So the most important thing to think about in this question, and it's something I say a lot, is that areas are additive. And I know that the area of this interior component is 80 because it's 8 by 10. And I know the border has an area of 144. So I know the area of the entire shape along the outside edges would be an area of 80 plus 144. And 80 plus 144 is going to give us 224. So I'm expecting to multiply something here and something here that give me a total of 224. And I'm representing them as x and x plus 2 because this is 10 and this is 8, but I'm adding 2w to each of them since there's w on each side of the picture. And w represents the width of the picture frame. But I'm just simplifying and thinking of the height as x, which would make the width x plus 2, since it started out 2 greater and we added a consistent amount, which was 2w to each of them. So that means I have x times x plus 2 equals 224. And this is a lot simpler to solve than the way most people would solve it, which is bringing in the w's immediately. So we have x squared and then plus 2x minus 224 is going to give us 0. And if we look at this, we're going to get a positive and a negative answer for what x could be equal to because we multiply to give a negative here. And the factors of 224 are, let's see, it's a multiple of 2, it's a multiple of 4, it's a multiple of 4, let's start there. So 200 is 4 times 50, and 24 is 4 times 6, which means this is 56, and this is 8 times 7. So we end up with 2 squared times 2 cubed times 7, and that gives us 2 to the 5th times 7. So 2 to the 5th times 7, and somehow we arrange these factors to get a difference of 2, where one version's positive, one's negative. So I could have, let's see, 14, and that would leave us with 2 to the 4th, which is 16, and that worked out. So I knew that 2 to the 5th, which is 32, was way too big to compare to 7, but all I have is 2's and 1 7. So I was like, I'll take a 2, put it over here, and see what happens, and then we can start working from there. It worked out immediately, which means we have negative 14 and positive 16 as the setup in our equation. So these are not the roots themselves. These are the parts of the equation, which means that the roots are negative 16 or positive 14. So I know that x is equal to 14 because it has to be positive, and that means that the width is 16. And in this equation, we're looking for the width of the border. And since we increased from 8 to 14, and we said we increased by a total of 2w, that means 8 plus 2w equals 14. And that means that 2w is equal to 6 and w is equal to 3, which gives us answer choice A. This is not a quick problem. It is pretty tough to get this done in 2 minutes. Just be wary on questions like this. They're typically a time waster. Only attack a question like this if you think that you have sufficient time to try it. Obviously, start the question and see how long it starts to take you. If you realize the math is getting away from you, my recommendation is try to make a good guess and move on to the next question.